What's up guys, so I'm finally sitting down to make this video. Hopefully this could help somebody going through a similar situation. Don't forget to like, subscribe so this video can reach more people, and feel free to comment and ask questions down below. So I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis, which is an autoimmune disease. Ulcerative colitis is an inflamed colon with ulcers specific to the large intestine, and Crohn's disease could affect more of the digestive tract. Crohn's and colitis are categorized as irritable bowel disease. Irritable bowel syndrome is just about everything else. I guess I'll begin around the time that I was diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. It was mid-February 2018. I was feeling fatigued, nauseous, had bloody stool, stomach aches, experienced weight loss, frequenting the bathroom over 10 times a day. I was not able to get in to see my primary doctor for 3 months after I started experiencing these symptoms. So I continued to go to work as a personal trainer, and I could barely make it through some of the training sessions. A few times bending down or getting up to give directions, I felt like passing out and would lose the ability to see. My vision was beginning to be affected. I was constantly hungry, but if I ate, I would have to use the restroom. If I didn't eat, my stomach got upset and then I would have to use the restroom. So I was in a lose-lose situation. So after experiencing all this and now losing the ability to regulate my body temperature, I would get hot, cold, and I always needed something to counteract what I was feeling. My parents finally convinced me to go to the hospital, and this was on April 20th, 2018. When we got there, I found out my heart rate and my blood pressure were far from normal for me. They found out I was anemic and my hemoglobin level was at 5.8 grams a deciliter, when the normal range for males is between 13 and 18, and females is between 12.5 and 15.5. So I had 2 blood transfusions that visit. I had my second colonoscopy during this visit to find out why I was bleeding. I was finally diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. I spent 3 days in the hospital. I was discharged on April 23rd, and I was prescribed ferrous sulfate, which is an iron supplement, prednisone, which is a steroid, and sulfasalazine, which is an anti-inflammatory. When I began tapering off the steroids, I would experience a flare-up. On May 24th, 2018, I went back to the hospital and my hemoglobin level at this time was 7.7. I was admitted and discharged the following day with folic acid added to my prescriptions. The doctor explained that if I could taper off the steroid, I wouldn't have to begin a biologic. But each time I began tapering off the steroids, I experienced a flare-up. So I took it upon myself to try a CBD tincture. Using the CBD helped me reach a lower dose in the steroids when tapering off, but I would still end up experiencing a flare-up. At that point, I wanted to be off the steroids because they made me depressed. I would be watching a comedy or a stand-up special, and I'd be laughing, and then out of nowhere I'd be overcome with sadness while I was laughing. It was the craziest feeling. I didn't want to talk to anybody, and I would get angry very quickly when I was on steroids. I was very irritable. On August 15th, 2018, I began my infusion of the biologic Remicade, and that helped me get off the steroids. When I began those infusions, I felt fatigued for the next 3 or 4 days after receiving the Remicade for the first 3 doses. I was feeling great and continued to receive the Remicade, but I was still frequenting the bathroom. After meeting with my doctor, he increased the dose of Remicade for January 23rd, 2019, and I had my final infusion of Remicade on March 20th, 2019. I had blood work done before seeing my doctor, and he explained that my body was starting to fight off the Remicade, which meant it would stop working for me, so I was switched to try Entyvio. On April 9th, I had my first Entyvio infusion. By April 11th, I developed a rash. On April 12th, I began bleeding. On April 13th, I went to the hospital. I was not admitted, but I was switched from sulfasalazine to mesalamine, which is another anti-inflammatory. Mesalamine is what I was originally supposed to be on, but the prescription order was put in as an IV, so I was not approved for it. I called the doctor and talked to him about not receiving the next dose of Entyvio, and he did not change my medication until he could see me in May, but I was put back on steroids for the meantime. I was admitted to the hospital on May 3rd with an inflamed pancreas and received a steroid IV. I was discharged on May 5th and my prednisone was increased. On May 15th, I had a follow-up with my doctor and he changed my medication to the Humira pen. After 5 weeks of going back and forth between my doctor's office, the insurance, and the pharmacy, I finally received my induction dose of Humira on June 19th and July 3rd. I've been taking it every 2 weeks since. The next day of my injection, I did not receive my medication, so after calling the pharmacy, I found out they did not have a contract with my insurance, so they would not refill my prescription, and they did not send the last dose. I never received a phone call letting me know I needed to find another pharmacy to fill my prescription. Now the doctor's office began searching for another pharmacy that I could use. The first one would not cover me, and the second one would, but it would take a while for everything to be processed. So when everything finally got approved, I went to the pharmacy to go pick it up when they received it, and it still wasn't there when I got there. I had to wait about 20 more minutes, even though they pushed back the time an hour for me to pick it up. So a week late, I have my next injection of Humira on September 19th and then October 3rd. I have not gotten into remission yet, and the Humira has helped me, but I continue to use CBD to help me live my life comfortably. I have experience with different forms of cannabis, including THC. I live in California, where it was made legal by the state, which gave me the opportunity to see if it would work for me, and I find it does. If I am doing something that I cannot experience psychoactive effects, or if I don't feel like it, I use CBD. I use CBD in either a gummy form or as a tincture. If you would like to try CBD to find out if it works for you, log on to Just CBD and use my code FITNIC for 20% off your purchase. I find that CBD has about an hour effect on me. This is great because then I can use it and guarantee that I'm going to feel comfortable and be able to make it to or from a place that I'm going without any issues. For the THC product, which you should only use if you have a prescription or it is legal in your state, and please use responsibly, I find the vapes give me between an hour and an hour and a half worth of comfort. Edibles give me about an hour and a half to 2 hours, and the flower a minimum of about 2 hours. I hope this video has helped someone, and please remember to like, subscribe, comment down below if you want to see more videos like this. Also, I will link Just CBD down below in the description, along with my discount code if you would like to try it for yourself. That also helps with epilepsy, sleep, anxiety, depression, pain, and even has treats for your pets. I'd also like to give a special thanks to my mom, because without her I don't know where I'd be when I was sick and I couldn't make the phone calls or make the appointments, or needed somebody to take me to the hospital or to my doctor's appointments. She's always been there. So thank you for everything, and see you next time.